We have to start down in Texas, Congressman. I know not all the details are in yet in terms of suspect names and that, but Occam's razor tells us that we just had what could have been an extremely serious terrorist attack thwarted down in Texas by some excellent police work. But this is quite the big story because we now have Charlie Hebdo type attacks coming to the United States down in Texas.
Yeah, so a couple things. Number one, first off, police are awesome, right? Let's keep this in mind. I mean, every day, these men and women put on a blue or brown or whatever uniform and go out and patrol a street, and 99% of the time, it's maybe a boring day for them or, maybe something doesn't happen. But then there's that one moment when anybody that understands combat or anything like that knows that if shots are fired or something goes crazy, the initial reaction is to, in essence, panic, freak out, whatever. These men and women train every day, and so they're able to go to their holster, to pull their gun out, to make rational decisions in the light of an irrational situation and protect people. And so, while we don't know exactly what happened in Baltimore and justice needs to be done there either way, it is important to note that these men and women protect us every day. And so, in this situation, if this in fact was an organized terrorist attack or even if it was a lone wolf attack, this is the new normal. I mean, with ISIS as successful as they are, with Al-Qaeda growing, with Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula seizing ports and bases in Yemen, with this Islamist movement really joining forces and joining all around the world, people that are either going to be recruited by this organization in the United States or they're going to sympathize with it and do lone wolf attacks. And this is why it is so imperative on us to deal a devastating, deadly, fierce, and one-sided blow to Al-Qaeda and to ISIS to send a message to these people that, you will be a martyr. It's not an issue of just fighting for a cause. You are making the choice to be a martyr because we will kill you.
What do you say to the people who are actually jumping on the side of criticism for this sort of event taking place to begin with, that had you not done this sort of thing, we wouldn't be having an incident like this, and you've kind of brought it on yourself?
Yeah, that's absolutely utter left-wing, Berkeley, liberal ludicrousness. I mean, the same people that will stand up and protect the right of, sometimes rioters in Baltimore and say that they're just protecting their First Amendment right, which we know protesting is one thing, rioting is another. The same people that stand up and say it's the free speech to step on the flag or, to burn a Bible or whatever, which whatever, are the same people that say it. So look, no, we have a right in this country to do whatever we want to do. If that includes drawing a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad, so be it. That is your right under the First Amendment, and we will go to war to protect that.
And that's really what it is. I mean, this is what the First Amendment is for, Congressman. It's not, if everyone was in a very narrow lane, we would have no use for the First Amendment. But it is there to protect events like this, speech we don't necessarily agree with or like. That's what it's there for. So to see some saying, well, yeah, free speech and all, but you really shouldn't do this, or yeah, sure, you have the free speech rights, but why would you want to host an event like this? That's completely beside the point.
Well, look at the monsters in Westboro Baptist Church, and they are monsters, by the way. They don't follow the same God I follow, obviously. But you know what? They have a right to do what they do, as much as I hate it, and as much as I would love to punch a couple of them in the face. They have a right to do whatever they want to do. This is America. I mean, without this freedom of speech, without the ability to do, what you feel and what you want to express, I mean, in reality, we're just a bunch of people that are living together. We're not an idea. And I think America is an idea and also a force for good. And as Ronald Reagan said, a shining city on a hill. And that includes protecting sometimes a speech that you don't want to. And I mean, you have a right to draw the Prophet Muhammad as a cartoon if you want, for goodness sake.
And the other thing that jumps out, you've got experience, you've been around the block a couple of times. Of all the places to pull a stunt like that, really? You're going to show up in Texas? You're going to roll up in Texas and pull guns?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Texas is probably the most armed citizenry. So I'm glad that this, from what I understand, they tried to do their shooting and they were very quickly dispatched to whoever their god they worship is.